Hi! For our today's video, we will learn how Abraham followed God's command and how God did make possible things that impossible for human. Part 1. Abram, son of Terah, was born in the city of Ur. Abram's family later moved to the upper city of Haran in Upper Mesopotamia where they settled. Abram had a brother named Haran, who died prior to the move. He married to his half-sister, Sarai. One day, Abram received a dramatic call from God, saying,
"Go from your country and your father's house to the land that I will show you.
And that call included a wonderful message.
I will make you a great nation, bless you and make your name great so that you will be a blessing. And he who dishonor you, I will curse. And in you, all the families of the earth shall be blessed."
Abram obeyed promptly, heading south to the land of Canaan. He was joined by his wife together with their household servants. Lot, his nephew, also come along with them. After spending some time in Shechem, where he built an altar for God, he moved on to a place between the cities of Bethlehem and Ai. Abram continued their journey toward the desolate region of Negev. As a nomadic pastoralist, Abram could easily move his possession from place to place. When a famine struck the land, Abram sought refuge in the wealthy country of Egypt. Though it was risky, Abram knew that the Egyptians were likely to seize his beautiful wife, and he feared that they would eliminate him in order to legally marry her. He chose to rely on a half-truth, describing Sarai as his sister instead of his wife, exactly in keeping with his fears. The Egyptians selected Sarai as a future concubine for the pharaoh. Abram immediately gained wealth and influence in Egypt as the presumed brother of Sarai, until God revealed to Pharaoh what is happening. Pharaoh responded in anger. He called for Abram, rebuking for the deception. He gave back to Abram his wife and sent them both out of the country. Abram returned to Canaan, taking up residence at the location between Bethel and Ai. During that time, both Abram and Lot gained immense wealth, leading friction to their servant who managed their livestock. Recognizing the difficulties, the two men decided to part in friendly terms. Lot chose to go towards the plain of Jordan, a beautiful and fertile land that contained the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah. Abram, on the other hand, after receiving the message from God, headed to Hebron. Afterwards, a war broke into the plain off Jordan where a coalition of kings conquered Sodom and Gomorrah. Seizing their inhabitants, including Lot, Abram responded by arming his servants and pursuing the victorious kings. After defeating the allied force, Abram released and rescued the inhabitants of Sodom and Gomorrah, including his nephew and other captured cities. Then, in a remarkable act of piety, Abram gave a tenth of everything to a shadowy priest king named Melchizedek, and received a blessing from him. Afterwards, Abram became increasingly concerned about his need for a son, because how could he inherit Canaan and become great nation when he don't have a descendant? In response, God promised him with certainty that he would have a son and confirmed that he would inherit the land of Canaan. However, Sarai was also eager for a descendant, decided to take matter in her own hands. She encouraged her husband, who's old, to take Hagar, her Egyptian slaves, and have child with her. Abram agreed. Hagar became pregnant and Sarai promptly became jealous. She treated Hagar so poorly, which is why the slave woman ran away. But Hagar returned when she was met by an angel, and promised that her child would also become a great nation. God responded again by reassuring Abram of his promise. He made a covenant with Abram, renaming him as Abraham. God also gave Sarai a name Sarah, signifying she would be a princess of nation. God also called on Abraham to confirm this covenant by submitting to the painful procedure of circumcision along with all the male member of household which Abraham obeyed. Afterwards, Abraham invited 3 mysterious strangers to enjoy a meal with him and receive hospitality. When they prophesied that Sarah would bear a son, the latter laughed at them, but they insisted that it was true. Then the 3 men departed their way to the city of Sodom. Abraham walked with them, apparently stopping to talk with one of them, while the other continued when suddenly God talked to him. God admitted that he intended to destroy the wicked city of Sodom. That's why Abraham pleaded for mercy, which God was willing to grant. But Abraham failed to ask for sufficient mercy. Meanwhile, the two other visitors showed up in Sodom, where they receive a very inhospitable reception. Lot welcomed them into his house but soon find himself assaulted by the other city dwellers. The mob surrounded the house, rioted and demanded the opportunity to sexually assaulted Lot's visitors. Lot protected his visitors, and God, himself, protected Lot by suddenly striking the crowd with blindness. At that time, the visitors announced their mission to Lot, that they come to warn him that God is about to destroy the city. Lot was slow to leave, but by the morning, he was on his way out along with a few family members. After safely escaping, God unleashed a divine storm of fire and brimstone on Evil City, so spectacular that even Abraham, miles away, could see rising smoke in the horizon. Lot fled to the mountain, but his wife felt sorry to leave her favorite city, looked back and instantly solidified into a pillar of salt. Lot took up residence in the mountain, where he spent the rest of his life as a hermit. The lesson is, we always have to trust our God Almighty. Always trust His plan, because He is the only one who knew what's best for us. Give God all the glory.